Hey man, what's up with y'all boys today, man? It's Eli up next year, back here with another YouTube channel. YouTube video. I'm tripping. But today I want to be talking about something a little bit more serious. I'm gonna be a little vulnerable with y'all. Just to let y'all know my thoughts with my struggle with my faith so far as a Christian, as a believer of Jesus. I just feel like it's just important to to talk about where I'm at as far as God and my faith. And I just want to talk about some of my struggles because this right here, my biggest struggle, one of my biggest struggles, faith. Faith has been a huge struggle for me. Um, and I just wanted to let that out. Maybe somebody could relate to some of my struggles with faith. Um, Maybe you can resonate with some of this stuff. But yeah, make sure you leave a comment if you resonate with some of this stuff down in the comment section below. But yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe, leave a comment like I said before, man. And just keep an eye out for more videos in the future, man, because we still gonna have some more stuff, um, in the future. But anyway, let's go ahead and get straight to it though. My struggle with faith has been an ongoing issue for me since honestly like a teenager basically. Starting with number one, when my struggle, it will start in a form of doubt or not trusting in what God says. This and what you're gonna notice as I go through all these points, a lot of this stuff it comes full circle. It all intertwines with each other. But yeah, doubt and not trusting in what God says, I would just be so doubtful and not trust what He said. God, you mean this? Do you say this? Are you sure you meant that? You sure? Like, you for real? Are you being for real right now? You sure you didn't mean this instead of that? But what if this like that's what be going on in my head sometimes when God would be telling me something. You sure? Like I just be doubtful and second guessing, not sure, all this other stuff. And if God says something, I'll be trying to like bend it or like I would be trying to bend it to make sense for me, which I'll get on to what kind of goes into number two, my own will or leaning on my own understanding. I'll be bending God, what God says, or His will or His word, bending it into my will, bending it into my logic, so it will make sense for me to do something. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense for me to do it, then it just give me the green light. It validates me to do it. This is very, very dangerous. And as I realize, because if God says something, He says like He means it. He don't say something and don't mean it. He don't bend His words. He don't go back and edit. He don't, you know, what people do in a text, like people can, you could delete your text and then resend it or something like that. He don't change it up, edit, none of that. What He says is what He says, and that's in the law, that's in the Bible itself. But for me, I realized I'll be trying to make my own way. I'll be trying to, you know, make it happen on my own terms. Um, like I said, I'm gonna be a little vulnerable. So last year, right? I man, this is crazy, yo. All right, last year, I wanted a girlfriend, all right? And I'm still single to this day. Right now, I'm still single. But last year, I wanted a girlfriend. So I prayed about it. I talked to God. Still to this day, this is what I hear. She's coming. Like, I don't know when. I don't know when. I don't know where. I don't know what time. But all I know is at one point I prayed and I know God said that she's coming. She's coming. She's coming. Don't worry about the details. Just know that she's on her way. She's coming. Don't worry about it. She is on her way. This is how I'm gonna talk about this. So last year, right? Put myself back out because I was like, okay, I heard God said, okay, she's coming, right? I started to lean on my own understanding and thinking that I gotta make a way. I gotta force something. I gotta force a situation to find her. Cause I'm like, God, how is she coming if she don't know where I'm at? She not gonna just land in my lap. She ain't gonna just come to me, bro. So me bending what God said to my own logic. Okay, you know what? I might gotta put myself out there. Create a few dating profiles on like Hinge and Bumble for a little while and all that crap. Try to find somebody, and took a few girls out on dates. I made a video like a while ago, I think in December, talking about dating, things that I learned since dating or something like that. That was literally that was like a month or two after all that. But yeah, going through those girls and talking to them, things like that. And now, like, after all that, realizing that, and this is no diss to them if they watch this video, but they weren't what God was talking about when he said she's coming. Like, that was me. That was me leaning on my own understanding, bending what God said to my own will. I just wanted to show that to y'all. And kind of sucked, got hurt too. Yeah, whole shebang. But I just wanted to bring y'all like a real life example of what I was going through a couple months ago, and how I don't know how I was able to correlate that to my faith, but it was just a real life example. God told me this and it didn't make sense to me, so I bended it to my own will. Things like that. And then the other thing that I noticed with my struggle with faith is not applying myself. Not applying myself is, and the way I could really basically explain this in my life is just like not reading my word every day, not praying every day, not talking to God every day, not filling my spirit with what I need to constantly every day, not denying myself every day, not renewing my mind every day. Things like that. The things that I should be doing, I'm not applying myself. And like I said, all three of these things, these are just the main big three things of how I feel like my struggles are. Like I said, some people may resonate with me, some people may not. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all where I'm at right now as of, what's today? As of March 25th, 2025. This is where I'm at today. And I got a couple of aftermaths of these struggles. So all of this is a result of these struggles because of my struggle with faith that I've noticed about myself so far, ever since I was a teenager. Things like that. One, anxiety and fear. This affects my confidence, makes me overthink, often self-sabotage, affects my self-esteem, affects my decision making, also affects my ability to trust people and God. So a lot of this stuff kind of intertwined. It kind of goes with one another. My anxiety, with the example I said, with me wanting a girlfriend and praying and God saying all this, and God saying she's coming. Anxiety was like, is she here? Is she there? Like, I might be out at the mall. Is she there? She there? Shit, I'm at a park. She there? Like, where's she at, bro? You know what I'm saying? I'm like constantly paranoid, constantly thinking, like constantly overthinking. Really, that's really what it is. I'm just constantly overthinking. Not even just about that situation, but even like with myself. It even got me to the point where this is kind of where I'm at right now. It's like, am I ready? What if I mess this up? Have I dealt with my struggles but I don't mess up this woman that God will bring to me in my life? Like, cause that's the last thing I ever want to do is hurt somebody, especially somebody that God brings to my life. Am I prepared? If I'm being honest with myself, Probably not. If I'm being honest with myself, probably not. But you know, it's just I don't know. A lot of questions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things is going on in my head, and it just gets me anxious. It makes me overthink, causes fear sometimes. Sometimes I feel I'm scared of doing things, putting myself out there or trying to do things or things like that. Fear. And I know I made a video talking about don't let fear control your life and things like that. But I'm just being honest. Fear is one of the factors and how it's affect me. You know, my confidence. Really my confidence and my self esteem kind of go hand in hand um, with me overthinking and you know not trusting what God says or anything like that. It also affects myself, how I think about myself and my ability to even trust myself, because sometimes it's hard to trust myself. If I'm being honest with you, it's hard to trust in my decision making. um which way to go? Do I go left? Do I go right? You know, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to feel good about yourself, or what I'm trying to say. Basically, basically trust yourself. That's basically really what I'm trying to say with like how it affects my confidence and my self-esteem. Really trusting myself, believing in myself. Yeah, believing in myself. Things like that. And believing that God says what he said, and his word does not go void. He means what he say what he mean, and he mean what he say. You know, that kind of thing. And then also last, oh, not last, self-sabotage. Um Sometimes with going back to my second point with uh trying to bend things to my own will or lean into my own understanding, sometimes I feel like it could be a self-sabotage kind of thing, because I'm a logical person. I try to be as logical as possible. If something doesn't make sense realistically, if it just doesn't make sense realistically, I just count it out. That's just me as a person. It gotta make sense to me to go forward to, or otherwise I'm a gather data, I'm a gather details and stuff to make it make sense. And one thing I'm starting to realize, that's not how God works. Sometimes things just don't make sense. Me personally really don't like that. Really don't like that. It's hard for me to accept that, but I'm just being honest. Like I'm just being straight up honest with you. Like that's hard to accept. But also I realize that I could self-sabotage what God may have, whatever plans he may have or anything like that, because of my own logic. It can get in the way of things, or me trying to make things make sense, if that makes sense. Also, my ability to trust people and God is another way how this all affected me. Um, Still working on trusting people, trusting myself, and even God. It's just over time things may happen, coming across bad apples basically, or people who didn't have my best interest at heart, and it kind of scarred me, or traumatized me a little bit with trusting people. But then also I realized that I feel like I associated what people did with who God is, or I associate people with God, and thinking that, oh well, people say this but don't mean it, or people will try to manipulate you, people will try to use you, people will smile in your face but really talk bad behind you. How I know you won't do this, guy? How do I know you won't leave me? How I know you won't abandon me? How I know, things like that. And I just wanted to express all this out, because to me these are real emotions, these are real thoughts, real feelings. And sometimes I feel like this. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like sometimes I honestly feel like this. And I just wanted to make this video, you know, let other people know who may be going through these same things, that you're not the only one going through this. I don't know. I just came home honestly from work and I just put everything out of my head on this whiteboard. And I don't know how I'm able to articulate it. I thank God that He's able to, help me articulate my thoughts and everything I'm feeling and things like that. But I just wanted to make it known like you're not alone in this. Um, for me, I want to get better with my struggles and faith. That's why I'm putting myself out there and I'm just sharing because I think a lot of people are going through the same some of these issues. I don't know what you're going through, but I just think these are pretty relatable. But I'm praying and hoping that whatever you're going through, that it don't overtake you, it don't overcome who you are as a person. Um, I'm believing that God is gonna make a way, even if it, even if things look rough, even if things look rocky right now. He's gonna be with you. I want to share something with y'all. I was at work um, about 2 weeks ago, and I remember writing down some thoughts that I had about some flashbacks that came, some bad trauma experiences, basically feelings of loneliness, feelings of abandonment, feelings of, just people gonna leave me and things like that, people gonna abandon me. I have no clue how I got to this. I was watching this YouTube video and they mentioned Psalms 23. Out of curiosity, I wanted to know what Psalms 23 was because it sounded familiar. I feel like I've heard Psalms 23, and it was. Um, and I read the whole song, and there was a certain part about that song that had made me cry because that's really what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? And it was basically the part where David was writing about God not leaving him. Let me pull it up real quick. All right, so I'm reading from, you know what? I'll read the whole thing. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all I need. He let me rest in green meadows. He lead me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever. The part that had made me start to cry a little bit was when he said, even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid because you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. That's what I was, that's something that I have to constantly remind myself, constantly, that basically I'm not alone. That God will never leave me. He will never abandon me. He won't desert me. People might have done that, but I have to constantly remind myself that God is not man, you know, things like that. And I have to constantly affirm myself, repeat that in my head, believe it. And I'm working on that, you know what I'm saying? But that's what's helping me. Um, Hopefully that will help you guys out if you're going through the same thing. But yeah, hopefully this video helped, man. I just wanted to get my thoughts out. But yeah, leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and we can chat it up. Other than that, man, I hope y'all guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.